That is not an issue now. There are so many hotels in town, if you don't mind. That's better, at least to escape the hungry mosquitoes that are flying around without mercy, Amaka replied. They got into the car and Michael received a call from a policeman who asked him to come over to the station immediately. He drove down, faced Amaka, and she held his hand nervously like someone scared of the unknown. Michael gave her a reassuring smile and said, I will be fine. Chill, Mama, and just stay here for me. He entered the station and met Michael with a policeman. He had a white piece of cloth in his mouth, which he was using to clean the blood from his broken teeth, and the white turned red already. But the craziest thing was the second person in there, Mr. Adeniyi, the head of Adeniyi's family himself, chairman of Adeniyi's group, Opeyemi's father. Welcome, Mr. Michael Lawson. Sorry to call you in this late at night, but Chairman Adeniyi almost caused the scene and we had no choice, one of the policemen said, and Michael faced the grey-haired man. Yes, he said simply, and Mr. Adeniyi stood. I have been wishing for chances with you, but now that it happened this way, it's not bad. How dare you wound my son to this point, he yelled, standing well on his walking stick. I heard you disowned him because he slept with one of your wives, his stepmom, and now you are here to defend a disowned son? Oh, I am so touched, Michael said. He might be a disowned son, but he's still part of my family and he is still my son. And no matter what, an Adeniyi will always remain an Adeniyi, Opeyemi's father backed. And a spoilt brat will always be a spoilt brat. Your son was not raised well, Michael fired back. What? Yes, old man. And if you are in any way planning to use this against me, then I am all ready. But just warn him about one thing. This time, he brought down his voice and moved closer. If he comes 1 meter close to Amaka again, I will end him. And he walked out of the station street. They drove down to the hotel, and Amaka was forced to ask him where he learned how to fight as a professional. Back then, when I was still a taxi driver, I got beaten up twice by thugs, and they tried to take my taxi, my only source of income, those 2 times, but I escaped miraculously. And when I finally got a job and stopped being a driver, I made it my priority to learn how to defend myself, and I trained for a year, Michael said. Where is that taxi now? She asked. It is parked somewhere. I can never sell it or allow anything happen to it because that's the only gift I got from my father, he replied. I am so glad you eventually made it and don't look like what you have been through. I wish your dad was here to witness your success. Well, I wish same too, but such is life. A time to be born and a time to die, he replied. Mr. Adeniyi bailed his son, took him to the hospital. He got treatment for the teeth to stop bleeding, but the pain persisted. The next morning, Mercy arrived at her place of business. She met the other stylists outside the shop, and she began to wonder why they were not going in when she suddenly saw the padlock on the entrance. She rushed to it and started pulling at the lock relentlessly. And who did this? What's happening? Why is the shop locked? Is it because it's month end? Tell the owner that we will pay. Or did anyone say she's not paying? She shouted, facing the others. So you have no head. She sold it out to new owners. She said our rent is not enough to fend for her anymore, one of the others replied. What? She gasped, and a car halted in front of the shop. Trustworthy came out with Bishop, and they both stuck their hands in their pockets as they walked in. The stylist made way for them till they go to the front and face them. "The new landlady sent us, and we are sorry for the delay," Bishop said. "You all can continue your works, but please note that the new rent goes to our madam from now on," Trustworthy added, opening the shop. They all started going in, but when it was Mercy's turn, they blocked her. "Sorry, everyone except you." "What?" "Yes, what, Annie? A girl who coveted her best friend's lover does not get to use this building. Find another shop. Though I can bet no one will want to have you in the building because we made sure to spread the news of your betrayal to every shop," Trustworthy said. "Wait, I saw you guys with Amaka the other time at her house. You were working with her, obviously. How dare you both?" she ranted. "How dare you both?" the guy said in her voice, and they started laughing afterwards. Mercy rushed out from the vicinity, calling Amaka's name repeatedly with rage. "This is so sweet," Trustworthy said. "I know, right? The best revenge is to be successful, and money will just keep doing the talking while you fold your arms and watch." Meanwhile, in John's company, he kept shouting, "What? What? And another what?" "Don't worry, I will tell you why." 10 staffs submitted resignation letters in just one day. His secretary dropped the envelopes on his desk and said to him, "Last month, sir, you didn't pay our salary. And this month ends today too, but no shishi in the company's accounts to pay." John replied, "So? Aren't you aware of my deal with Michael Lawson? Once it is done, I am going to pay them more than I owe them. Can't you talk to them? I am suffering too, so much that I even had to come to work in a cab this morning. No money to fuel my car." He was still speaking when his secretary slowly brought out her own letter. "What is that?" he asked. "I am leaving too, sir," she replied. "We all have issues and we need money to settle them. If you were a good boss, we would have had reasons to stay back. But as it is right now, no one can point to a reason, even an half reason, to scale the storm with you. Paddle your canoe, sir. And I am sure you have learnt a bitter lesson, that when you are up, you should treat people nicely, so that when you are falling, they can hold you, pull you up, and never allow you fall to the ground or the level where you become a subject of ridicule." This she said, walking out. Michael drove into his compound, and Shem was already dressed for school, waiting at the door. Immediately Amaka stepped out, he ran happily to her like he hasn't seen her for years. "Good morning, my baby boy. Did you sleep well?" "No, Mom, I didn't. I kept thinking about you all through the night and I missed you so much," he replied. Amaka carried him up and said, "I missed you too, my son." "How is that your neighbor doing?" he asked. "She's good now," she replied. "Dad?" Shem called and went from Amaka to Michael. "I thought you had forgotten about me now." "I didn't, please," Shem said, hugging his father. "Mom?" Little Precious's voice interrupted, and they turned to see her coming out of Brian's car. Amaka actually called him and gave him Michael's address. Amaka widened her arms and Precious rushed into it. "Mommy, I missed you and you left me for so long." "Pardon me, please, but that will not happen again, I promise." "Where is Brian?" she asked when she noticed the car leaving already. "He has gone to the studio. He told a friend to drop me here." Shane became suspicious because of how Amaka was being too careful. Michael had to tell the driver to drop them at school immediately. To keep Shane's suspicions down, Amaka had to prepare for work despite her back. They got to the office late. The staffs kept their greetings coming till they got to the elevator. Surprisingly, when they got to the assistant's office, Anne was saying, "I am telling you, Amaka has a hidden child. She had a one-night stand with a stranger as a prostitute that she is, and she got pregnant. And boss is here. Talk to him directly," Bishop interrupted, and faced them immediately. "Good morning, sir. I have got some good news for you. This lady right beside you is not who she claims to be. She has a hidden son somewhere, and she is a prostitute who had a one-night stand. Leave her alone, sir, before she ruins you and your company." You see, I took my time to find out this. I dug into her past with the help of my contacts, and I am so happy that she's standing here with you, sir. You can confront her. Of course, she won't say anything different from what I just told you. And Michael looked at Amaka and said, "Oh, my Annie, tell me it's not true." Anne was already happy, like someone who just won a lottery. "Do you really have a child somewhere?" And Amaka cooperated with his flow. She said, "I am so sorry, boss." Bishop bent his head and muttered, "Actor and actress, you both fit yourselves." "So you really have a hidden child?" Michael asked again, but this time with a smile. "Is she talking about her shame?" Amaka replied, and began to hide her face. "You also had a one-night stand, right?" Michael asked, still smiling. "She's talking about that night with you at the bar," Amaka replied. "What?" Anne gasped, and her gasp was ended by Amaka's palm on her face. She slapped her. "That's for calling me a prostitute," and Anne held her face shockingly. "For revealing this, you will get a gift too," Michael said, lifting Amaka from the ground like a baby as usual. He carried her out of the office to the broadcasting room, placing her on the table before turning on the cameras so everyone in the company is watching them right now. He said, holding Amaka around the waist, "And here is to the mother of my son, to the woman I cherish most in this world, to my baby mama." He held her face as he leaned in. Amaka closed her eyes when she felt his lips on hers. He kissed her like a delicious sweet candy, and the whole company scattered. Staff started screaming around as they watched them on wall screens. Meanwhile, back in their sister's office, Anne was still standing on her spot watching the show on the screen like a frozen fish. Trustworthy smiled brightly as he watched. "Wait, is Anne dead?" Bishop said when he noticed her stillness. He walked to her and touched her with a finger. Automatically, like film trick, Anne went down, falling unconscious on the ground. "She's dead!" Bishop shouted dramatically. "She died?" Trustworthy asked, laughing. "She died, bro," Bishop said, shedding fake tears, going on his knees. Trustworthy couldn't help but burst into an hysterical laughter at the ongoing drama. It is safe to say that Bishop is a born comedian. Trustworthy wanted to sit, but his boots missed the chair, so he slipped and landed on the ground. Immediately Bishop saw that, his fake tears turned to a really massive laughter. He couldn't hold it. He had to hold his tummy as he let it out. And Trustworthy himself wasn't helping at all because he was laughing really hard at himself. Then suddenly he said, "Wait, Bishop, I think she really passed out. Let's get her to the medical room." Bishop stood, holding himself. He stopped laughing already. But the moment his eyes met with Trustworthy's, they started laughing again, scattering the whole office. "Let's get Miss Reporter out of this office," Trustworthy finally said. They managed to stop laughing as they gently carried Anne out of the office. They were on the hallway that led to the medical room when she opened her eyes and shook herself off from their hands. She landed on the ground with a loud whimper. Boom! Bishop asked, "Ah, what was that?" And Trustworthy replied, "The sound of gossip and evil reports." "Hey, Jesus!" Another round and competition of laughter began. "I think she only pretended to faint because of embarrassment. Isn't this company the sweetest company in this country?" "I love dramas," Trustworthy said. "You can say that again. Amen to the word," Bishop shouted. Back in the broadcasting room, Michael said some really sweet and deep words to Amaka, and she became emotional. He had to quickly turn off the cameras because to him, he only wants the world to see her smiling always. Meanwhile, in John's office, he was sitting thinking about his sinking ship when the door flicked open and Mercy barged in. "I think you need to find a leash and tie your ex-girlfriend down, because if it continues like this, then I might just kill her for real," she shouted breathlessly. John kept thinking without a reply, and Mercy pulled his left hand. "See, I am not in my right senses, and I won't be until the deal with Michael Lawson comes true. So please avoid me. Your girlfriend just chased me out of my shop, and this is all you care to say? She's hell-bent on ruining me," she yelled. "She did what?" John stood slowly. "I don't know how she did it, but she bought the whole building," Mercy shouted, and John started laughing, annoying Mercy more. The Amaka of today is totally different from the Amaka of back then in the uni. Now I want her more. Is she really a PA? How did she get cash for that huge building?" he said. "You are just too hopeless. Nothing but a trash," Mercy said angrily and started leaving. But she suddenly came back, spreading her palm. "What?" John asked. "I boarded a taxi here. My car ran out of fuel," she replied. "My sister, we are in the same group, oh. I boarded a taxi here and my car ran out of fuel too. Thank God for our legs, because I'll be walking home after work. So get your legs out and do step 1, step 2, and I'm very sure before you count step 10,000, you would have gotten home," he replied. Mercy pushed his chest before walking out furiously. John sat back and resumed his thinking, this time thinking 102. He said, "What is going on? I should meet Michael." Now back to ML Company. Amaka rushed in with her laptop to Michael's office. "Boss," she called, dropping the laptop on his desk. Michael pulled her to his laps and said, "You can report from here. The article about the real land the government is buying. I don't know, but I think someone knowingly posted it on our website," she said, pointing at the screen. "Must be George," he replied. Amaka was shocked, but he resigned and left the country already. "That's just how nice he is," Michael said. "And the good news is that the land is surrounding SYC. It belongs to our company," she faced him. "Yes, that was the last land I bought with George before he left," he replied. "Yes!" She jumped up from his laps excitedly. The article should be out in a week, and by the time John realizes what hit him, no one will be ready to buy Jumbo District for him for even $500,000, Michael said. "You are so intelligent," Amaka replied, rushing out happily. "Has it been confirmed?" Trustworthy asked. Amaka replied, "Yes, with every being in her." Bishop shook hands with Trustworthy. "You know, I don't regret the day I chose to work in this company. There is no single setback since it was established, and I am just too happy for boss," Trustworthy said. "Many thanks to you guys too for all you do," Amaka replied, hugging them individually. "Now that you bought Mercy's shop, what next?" Bishop asked. "I am buying a house next." "Did you find out her address like I asked?" "Yes, she stays at an apartment in town, and she's not staying alone. She stays with her junior brother, who is a secondary school student," Bishop replied. "Oh, I almost forgot she has a brother. I guess I will start from there first," Amaka smiled, crossing her legs. "She betrayed me, and I am turning her brother against her. She needs to feel what she made me pass through." "Cool. Anything you want, we are here," Trustworthy said. Opeyemi was still with his father, apparently in his father's mansion, and came down from a taxi right in front of the mansion, and the security guards blocked her. "Why are you here?" "To see Ope. I will just call him," she replied, getting her phone to dial his line. She dialed for 3 times, but he didn't take any. "I am not a stranger to him. He was my..." "You can't call me if none of the sons recognizes you," one of the guards interrupted. "And who is that?" Opeyemi's brother asked, coming out of the house. "Aren't you Bolu, the 3rd son? And you are?" "Anne, I am here to see Opeyemi," she replied. "That one? He went to fix his teeth. He is not in," he said. "I will wait for him then," she quickly replied. Bolu looked at her very well with the eyes of a man and said to the guards, "Let her in." In Shem's school, it was 10 minutes to closing hour, and the pupils were already preparing to leave school. Shem tucked his pen box into his bag and was about to zip it up when Nick, that same pupil who mocked him about his mother then, showed up. He said, "Shem, I was told your mother came back. Is it true?" "Are you looking for trouble again?" Shem asked. "No, I am just asking to confirm what I heard. How is that causing trouble?" "Well, I don't have to explain anything to you. Seeing your face is already so annoying," Shem said. "Wait, is she ugly? I mean your mom. Is that why you're so edgy about it?" "Maybe she's not what you were expecting," Nick said loudly, and the class went silent, waiting for Shem's answer. "Shem!" a friend called, knowing what was going to happen next. Shem took his snack box and was about to throw it at Nick when they all heard "Koi, koi, koi," a beautiful lady stepping into the classroom. "Baby boy," Amaka's voice came, and Shem was surprised. His ears recognized her voice immediately, and the pupils turned to the door where Amaka was standing with a pretty smile. "Mom!" Shem shouted in all excitement, dropping the snack box on the ground. He pushed Nick out of the way. He jumped into her arms, and the people started saying, "Wow! She's so beautiful. She's prettier than Nick's mom. Her dress sense, perfect." Shem became so proud and poured kisses on his mommy's face, and Amaka chuckled. "Can we go home?" "Sure, Mom," Shem said. He went back to pick his bag, and his eyes met with Nick, who was just standing. He stuck his tongue out at him before firing. "Dear Nick, how mad? Have you gotten the answer you seek?" That's my beautiful mother, and I am so sure you are wild." The pupils began to laugh at him, and Nick had to hide his face on his desk. Shem held his mother's hand, took her to all the teachers who said direct and indirect words to him about not knowing his mother. He made sure he introduced her to them one after the other, and he was fulfilled. They got to the car and met Precious with the driver. Amaka's phone suddenly rang as the driver drove out of the school park. It was Bishop calling. "Hi, Bishop. We have gotten Mercy's brother," he said. "Already? I and Trustworthy are unmatchable," he replied. She laughed and asked, "Where are you guys?" "I will send the location," he replied and hung up. He sent a low-profile restaurant as the location, and Amaka sighed as the driver pulled up at the park. "I will be right back, sweetheart," she told the kids, getting out of the car. Trustworthy was already waiting. "Trust?" she called, walking to him. "Bishop is in with him. Go in. I will stay with the kids," he said, and she went in. She sighted Bishop sitting in front of a boy at the corner of the restaurant, and she walked to them. "Welcome," Bishop said, standing up, and Amaka sat in front of the boy. "Madam Amaka," the boy said immediately. "You still remember me?" "Of course, ma. You were my sister's best friend when you both were still in school. But then it stopped after graduation." "I heard what happened though," he replied, saying the last part slowly. "Williams, right?" He nodded. But Amaka couldn't help but notice how badly he was trying to cover his arms. He wore a long sleeve, but he was still trying to put it down more. "Are you okay?" she asked, and he made to quickly take his arms off the table, but she was faster. She grabbed his right hand and pulled off the sleeves. Her eyes widened when she saw several bruises and marks on his skin, even burns, looking so scarred. "What is this?" And William started crying. "What happened to you?" And the boy replied, "Mercy happened to me." "Your sister did this to you?" She winked shockingly. "Yes, ma. She punishes me unjustly every day. Our late parents left money for us, but she's not ready to send me to school or feed me with the money. She has it in a safe somewhere in the house and spends it alone, and I can't even locate the safe. I work part-time to school and feed myself, but she takes the money after beating me this way. I might be a boy, but she's stronger," he cried and sniffed before continuing. "I have got appendix and I barely have any strength in me because I'm supposed to go for surgery, but she's not ready to sponsor it too. She's just so cruel, and that's why I wasn't surprised when I heard what she did to you. Now, this Mercy girl deserves to be butchered. She is a dark witch," Bishop said from behind. Amaka just smiled and got handkerchief from her bag, which she gave to Williams to wipe his tears. "What if I find the money for you? I mean, the money she's keeping from you. Are you ready to fly out of the country and start a new life?" "I have been staying with her all my life, and I don't know where she kept the money. How sure are you?" he hiccuped. Amaka smiled, resting her arms on the table. "Let's say I know her more than you. Maybe. We were friends for years, and I know she is shallow." He nodded and said, "Please help me." Amaka left the restaurant after giving him some money, and she faced the guys when they got back to the car. "You don't have to go with us tomorrow. Bishop will distract her, and you will give me the possible location of the money in the house. I will do the job with Williams," Trustworthy said. In Adeni's mansion, Anne found herself in Boli's room with her blouse on, but her lower body just the way she came to earth, doing nonsense. It didn't end there. The third one came in and still had a turn with her. She eventually passed the night there, and I would say, what a shame. Meanwhile, John invited Michael to Echo Hotel and he honored his invitation. Michael said to him, "Our deal is not done yet, so why did you call to meet? Make it fast." "Thank you for coming. Here is the thing. I want you to lend me 5 billion and I promise to pay you back once the deal clicks. My company is in chaos right now and staffs are resigning because I have not paid, and sitting before you is the definition of the word broke. And how is that my business? We are not friends, John, just business partners. So whatever or whoever gave you the confidence that I will lend you 5 billion is worth some accolades," Michael said calmly. "Please, Michael, don't waste your energy. I have better things to do." Michael stood, pocketed his hands, and walked out majestically. John became angry. There was no name he didn't call him in his absence. He said, "Imagine a whole me eating up my ego to say that, and he treated me like this. The more reason I have to kill him." The next day, Anne returned in the wee hours after Opeyemi's 2 brothers ruined her and gave her 3 million. She reluctantly prepared for work because of what happened. She stepped out with a wild smile when she remembered she was 3 million richer. She stopped immediately she saw Opeyemi right in front of her house. "Ope!" She froze. "My brothers told me you came to the mansion yesterday. Let me guess. They touched you?" "No now. Ope, I am not like that. I allowed you to have me because I knew you were going to be taken back into the family one day and that you would take care of me. I have no reason to sleep with your brothers, though they made moves, but I declined," she replied. And Opeyemi became relieved. He said, "Good, let's go in. I'm having you before you leave for work." "No, Ope, you need to know something about Amaka. My boss was her one-night stand and Shem is her son. She's currently living in his mansion and he has introduced her to all of us in the office. I think Michael is really in love with her." "Wait, Shem is what?" Opeyemi asked surprisingly. "Her hidden son," Anne replied. Michael and Amaka got to the office very happy. They stayed in the car gisting and grinding ear to ear when one of the securities interrupted their moments. Michael pulled up and got the glasses down. "I am so sorry, sir, but a woman has been waiting here since an hour insisting on meeting Madam Amaka," he reported. "A woman?" they both asked. "Yes, she has something to take from you according to her," the guy replied, and they exchanged glances. Amaka came out of the car, same with Michael. The guard left for a corner, and by the time he came out, the woman was walking behind him, so her face was hidden till they arrived. The guard stepped aside, and her face came to view. She was wearing faded flat shoes, just like old Amaka, and the bag she was carrying looks like a knockoff. So old and faded too, her gown is same. Michael's eyes widened so much, recognizing his heartbreaker. Amaka had the feeling that she knew her immediately, so she started trying to remember. And in a snap, she did. She had seen her in the video Michael's mom showed her the night she told her Michael's story. "Amara!" Michael called, and Amara smiled and said, "Don't panic. I am not here for you. I am here for her," facing Amaka. "You have my daughter with you. Do me a favor and hand her over. I mean Precious," she said. "What?" "Yes, please. She is mine. Kindly hand her over to me." Opeyemi took her from me immediately she clocked 3, and since then, I got nothing but sneak peeks of her by secretly stalking her in school. Please hand her over, she said, looking so pitiful. Why did you two come since she was taken? Why are you just coming now? Amaka asked. Opeyemi is a devil, and you are aware that he will never allow me to take her if you both were still together. Amaka looked at Michael, who has been quiet, and then back at her. She said, I need proof. Get me proofs that she is your daughter. You can't just show up. And Amaka hasn't finished speaking when Amara brought out a lot of pictures from her bag. Pictures of her and Precious when as a baby. They're obviously wearing photoshopped. Precious's eyes stood out. Please, she is my only hope of getting back into the Adeniyi's family. Amara begged again. I don't understand, Amaka replied. She belongs to Mr. Adeniyi. I was divorced same time Opeyemi got disowned, Amara explained, and Amaka's eyes widened. The wife Opeyemi slept with was you? Amara nodded. So you left me for Adeniyi back then? The businessman you talked about is Mr. Adeniyi, the old man, Michael said unbelievably, and tears came out of Amara's eyes. So, madam, you got married to your businessman, but then you cheated on him with Opeyemi, his son, Amaka said and shook her head. I was carrying Adeniyi's pregnancy before the divorce, and the child is precious. Please, just give her to me, Michael said. I am going in with an hardened expression, unable to watch her shamelessness anymore. Michael, I know I did you dirty. I did wrong back then, I admit. I also know I deserve every bad thing happening to me for treating you that way. But life taught me a lot already, she cried. Since I got divorced by Adeniyi 2 years ago, things haven't been easy because he froze all my accounts and cut my income sources. I lost my mother too, and I am currently living with anemia. Stop talking! Michael cut her off coldly and finally left without looking back. She crawled to Amaka on her knees and held her legs. Please, I need Precious. I beg you. Please give me my daughter, she cried hotly, and Amaka stepped away from her. I am sure she won't even want to follow you. You should leave, she said and started walking in. Please don't do this. Give me my daughter, I beg you. Have mercy on me and return her, please. She started running after her, but securities got a hold of her, dragging her out. Welcome, Amaka, Trustworthy said when Amaka entered the office. Are you okay? Boss came in looking like he was going to cry, and now you came in looking so tense, Bishop said. I will tell you guys later, she replied, dropping her bag on her desk and entered Michael's office. Surprisingly, she met him crying. He was sitting on the couch with his face buried in his palms. Michael, she walked fast to him and sat beside him. She removed his palms and met tears for real. Michael, please, she whispered. I just remembered my past with her, the pains she caused me, and how she wasted 4 years of my life, he said. I am here now. You shouldn't let old memories get hold of you like this, please, she said, holding his face to start wiping his tears. I am sorry. I just couldn't hold it, he mumbled, and she smiled after wiping everything. She gave him a little pat on the back and said, I am here for you. Just a second, let me make a cup of tea for you. And Michael said, I hired another PA. He's resuming tomorrow. What? He pulled out to himself before speaking again. Think about it. It doesn't make any sense that my mama is still running around the office and making tea for me. But, you have no say in this one. He is resuming tomorrow and all you have to do is to stay at home from now on. No, sir. There is no way I'm staying at home and just be spending your money. Never. I need to make my own money. I can open a restaurant since I have an experience. I will hire brilliant chefs and I am one already. Think about it, she said quickly. Not bad. What about a name for it? He asked. I will think of a name and tell you soon. But for today, I will still make your tea, boss, she said and made way to stand. And Michael said, Precious, are you going to? No way. I cannot give her over. It is part of Amara's nemesis. She's already suffering. So we only have Mercy and John to deal with. And after everything is over, we can finally... she said and rushed out of the office. Michael was still smiling when Bishop came in with a report. Boss, the article about the land will be out by Sunday. He gave Michael the documents and he took them with a smiling face. It will be so entertaining, he said. That same day, at about 5 p.m., Mercy came out of the 20 shop and she released a heavy breath. No one was ready to rent her a shop because of what trustworthy and Bishop spread around about her. She really needs to get a shop soon. Otherwise, John will get suspicious of how she has been surviving without a job. And if John finds out that she has a money saved, then it's over. She wanted to stop a taxi that would take her home when someone crossed her. You again? Are you insane or something? Have you two done enough? She said angrily, and Bishop smiled. I am not here to fight. I figured out you might want your shop back, he said, and she rolled her eyes and said, Maybe no. Bishop nodded and started leaving. Wait, she suddenly said, and he smiled before turning. Do you mean it? Let's talk, he replied, opening his car door. They got in and he drove off. Trustworthy got to Mercy's place and Williams rushed out. I don't think this is the right time. Mercy will come home anytime soon. Chill. Mercy is under control. Bishop is distracting her, so we have all the time in the world. They got in and Trustworthy read Amaka's message of the possible places she will hide the money. Luckily, they found it in the 8th place. Trustworthy said to Williams, You need to be street smart. You have stayed here all your life and you have been stepping on your inheritance. He got his phone and dialed Bishop. Safe found. Time to go for the second mission, he said. At the restaurant where Bishop drove to with the excuse that she needed to eat as her face communicated hunger, he stood up after taking the call. Where are you going? Aren't you supposed to take me to the shop? Sorry, I was kidding. This is just my own April Fool. It was nice chatting with you though. Bishop winked and started walking away. What? Mercy took off her shoe and flinged it at him. Bishop tried to dodge but couldn't. It hit his head. Ouch, he screamed, rubbing his head as he ran out. Did Amaka send you again? What did she do this time? Mercy muttered fearfully. Something just doesn't feel right since Bishop left. She rushed home and she had to think hard before her mind went to the safe. I just hope it's not true. Her heart skipped. She went to where she hid it and found an empty space. She went down on her knees, immediately crawling, laughing like a mad person. Then the moment she realized it was actually real, she stopped laughing, stood up and rushed back to her living room, got her phone from her bag, dialing William's line. But she was told the number doesn't exist. She didn't know when she peed on herself. No, it can't be. She ran out of the house screaming, "My money can't be gone! Williams!" She kept shouting like a madwoman without minding the people staring. The next day at work, Anne was the only one in the assistant's office when Amaka and Michael appeared hand in hand as usual. "Welcome, boss," she greeted shamefully. He ignored her, and Amaka walked to Trustworthy's desk. She met a note and took it. "I told boss about our absence already. We have somewhere to be this morning. William's documents will be ready before the end of today, and he will be able to fly out for his sojourn tomorrow." She smiled after that beautiful note, entered Michael's office and met his PA. Surprisingly, it was George. What a pleasant surprise. "You are welcome, Mr. George." And Mr. George hugged her. Michael stood up immediately, broke the hug and said, "Please, so that we don't have problem. What you just did now is an abomination. Don't do that again. Even handshake, I will not tolerate it. Just wave." And they all laughed. "That reminds me, Amaka, I have a little surprise for you," Michael said, pulling her out. "Surprise? What is it?" "Just follow me, curious girl." But surprisingly, they met Mercy bagging her way in with the securities when they got to the assistant's office. "We tried to stop her, but she threatened to kill herself if she doesn't see Madam Amaka. We made a call, but the assistants didn't answer," the chief security said. Michael calmed with a deep breath. Amaka asked Mercy, who was staring at her evilly, "What? Do you want to kill me?" "Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to kill you, Amaka. You ruined my life," she screamed and got a knife out of her bag. She started running to Amaka with it, but she was grabbed by the securities. "Let go of me. I need to kill her. She ruined me. I can't even find job anywhere. She ruined me across the city. What have I ever done to you?" she cried as the knife was taken away from her. Amaka spoke calmly to her as the guards held her still. "You took everything away from me. I nearly lost my life, and you dare ask me what you took from me? You betrayed me, and I only gave you a dose of your mercy. You are so heartless, even to your blood brother. Well, if you care to know, Williams will be out of the country and he'll be going for the surgery you refused to sponsor and start a new life with the money you lost, proudly orchestrated by me." "Should we call the police?" the securities asked. "No, just throw her out. But never you open the gate for her again," Amaka replied, and they started dragging her out. "Amaka, Ami, you can't do this to me. Please remember our friendship. Remember when I was nice to you before John came into the picture." Her screams rented the whole place till she was completely out, and Amaka faced Michael, who widened his arms. She hugged him, stuffing his face in his chest. "Do you feel any better?" he asked. "Yes, a lot better," she replied. "Good. Now we are left with the toughest, John," he said. "No, John is not tough, and that's why he has thugs at his beck and call. I can still see through him just like Mercy. He was once the love of my life." Can we stop talking about your ex? We were going somewhere before the little drama. They got to the park, entered the car and zoomed off. She was wondering where the destination would be till they arrived in front of a big store. "What are we doing here?" she asked. "Take a guess," he replied. "Wait, you didn't buy it, did you?" "I did, and it is not just the shop. All the 4 buildings surrounding it are yours too," he replied. She covered her mouth. She felt like crying, jumping on him, dancing, and doing so many things at the same time. "You want to make your own money, right? Then let's get it started," he said. Amaka quickly jumped on him. "I don't know what to say. I am just going to stay like this. You have done so much and it keeps increasing every time." She started crying and sniffing on his shoulder, making him smile as he began stroking her hair. "Cry all you want. Soak my suit, Mama. I am all yours." Amaka came down, thanked him and said that the name of the restaurant would be the New Dawn Restaurant, as it's a new dawn for them. Amaka went straight to John's mansion, and she has been sitting on the door since she arrived, as John wasn't in and his line has been off. She has cried a lot and was at the same time very tired, shivering in the coldness of the night. "Amaka, you can't do this. Please, I am wrecked." She started crying again, and she looked up when a taxi stopped in front of the house. John came out of it and she sprang up. "John, easy. Why do you look like a virgin ghost?" "John, I am ruined. Amaka ruined me. I have no penny with me and no one is ready to give me a job. She's got my money saved for Williams and now he's out of the country. I am stranded and I am going crazy. I can't think," she cried loudly. "You had a money save?" John frowned. "I am sorry for not telling you, but..." Women. "So you had a money save, but you still set my chest on fire, asking for money every day. Alaye, you deserve it. You betrayed her, so it is only right she takes revenge. Are you dumb or something? Do you think you are free either? You staked all your life on a deal with Michael. And do you know who Michael is to her? I guess you're not aware. But let me bust your bubbles. Michael is the father of our child. I think you are in a trap. What are you talking about? The news about the land will be out on Sunday and I will become rich. I will kill Michael and have my Amaka back. Oh, please, get back to your senses. Can't you see what is going on? We are both under Amaka's revenge, and I can categorically tell you that we are in trouble. We are, you and I. I staked $1 billion for the deal, and Michael staked $1 billion too. We both have money in it, so... Chai! Who do you this strong thing? Michael is a trillionaire. Losing just $1 billion means nothing to him for sure. I will be here for your tears on Sunday. It is certain, I mean, sure banger, that you're going to cry like me. And she left. The thing began to ring in John's ears, and he began to shiver before walking in. It was Sunday morning, and John hasn't left the TV since daybreak. He has been in front of it waiting for the news. The ultimatum for him to return the cash he borrowed from the bank was that week. If he fails to do it, then his company is the collateral. The one he borrowed for Loan Shark has that week as ultimatum too, and he used his house and cars as collateral. A little snap he will lose everything. So he was praying with all his might as he watched the TV with keen attention. The time clocked 5 and he strained his eyes as the land news broke. The federal government had decided to build an additional seaport plus the existing one for easier access to the foreign traders and businesses as the population of the trade kept increasing. SYC was chosen for. John couldn't wait to hear the remaining news. He was already sweating as he brought out his phone and checked online. The article was out too, and it was the same thing. No! He shouted, rushing out of the house. Michael took Amaka and Shem out, and they just returned very happy. He has received congratulatory calls from his staffs. Suddenly, a taxi stopped in front of the house. John came out of it, rushing to the already locked gate. Michael! You saw the news, right? It's not Jumbo District. It is SYC land. We bought the wrong land, he shouted, slamming his palms on the gate. Michael pocketed his hand and walked to him. The gate acted as a barricade between them. We lost. Shit happens, he said with a big smile. You are not smiling right now, are you? I lost $1 billion and I have a lot of debts. Michael? I understand that $1 billion means nothing to you, but to me. Then he stopped talking when he saw Michael still smiling. Wait, the SYC land, you? It is for you. You are so smart after all. Yes, I own it. I bought it 2 months ago, Michael replied calmly. What? Then you tricked me to buy Jumbo? How could you? I tricked you? Remember I have $1 billion wasted on that Jumbo District, Michael said. How could you? I am in trouble. Big trouble. And I'm also in debt. And maybe you should talk to me instead. Amaka came forward and interrupted John. John's arms dropped. She said, still remember the agony you made me pass through for years? You are going to pass through everything in just a short period of time. And I can't wait to watch you crumble. I promise to take everything away from you, remember? No, please. Oh, come of it. Now, this is it. You are empty, she smiled. No, Amaka. No, Ami. You can't do that to me. He pulled roughly at the gate like he was going to pull it down. And Amaka smiled again and said, deal with it, Johnny. And immediately he heard that name. He started crying. No, my Amaka, I still love you. I will die on debt, please. A car halted behind him and the 2 brothers came out. Wait, why are you still alive? Didn't you watch the news? Bishop asked. John gasped for air just once. Good, now do it like a good boy, Trustworthy said. And he gasped for breath again, passing out on the ground. Michael took Amaka and Shem inside, and the 2 brothers got in. When John saw that nobody gave a damn, he stood from his fake fainting and walked home devastated. 7 days later, everything he had was taken away from him, and just like a flash, he moved from grace to grass. He had to beg Mercy to accommodate him. Mercy did on the condition that he would be paying rent, so he went into street hustling. With the help of a good lawyer, the contract marriage was terminated and Amaka was liberated from the shackles of Opeyemi. She released Precious to Amara after lots of consideration. Anne became pregnant but didn't know the father of the child, so she left the vicinity. She had savings, So she added it to the 3 million and ventured into small-scale business. Brian's mom eventually passed. Brian relocated after her funeral. He found love in Erica and Maka's then cosmate. Flora got married to George, and the long-awaited marriage became a reality. Michael's mom welcomed Amaka officially into the family with lots of gifts. Bishop and Trustworthy were rewarded handsomely, but they simply invested and stayed back in the company just to be watchmen. Hey, African Tales by Camera Tribe, tell me, did you enjoy this series? If you did, please share your best moments and your emotional moments in the comment section. Before I leave today, Matthew chapter 7 verse 12, the Amplified Version. It says, "So then, in everything, treat others the same way you want them to treat you. For this is the essence of the law and the writings of the prophets." Like the popular betrayal quote says, it is easier to forgive an enemy than to forgive a friend. Please, my dear viewers, be intentional about treating people right. And if you have been betrayed before, please let go. Heal, not because of anyone, but because of you. Don't be like Amaka in this story who took revenge. You can always hand it over to God. He alone can take the best revenge. According to Romans chapter 12 verse 19, do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, "It is mine to avenge, I will repay, says the Lord." If you love my story, you can please support me by buying me a coffee using the link on my bio or the link in the description of this video, or you can simply buy me a super thanks. Please don't forget to share the story with your loved ones. Till I bring the next series your way,